You ever wonder how a modern city actually works? I mean, underneath all the concrete and steel, there's this invisible digital blueprint. It's a set of tools that decides pretty much everything, from where a new metro line goes to who actually owns the land your house is sitting on. So let's dive into this hidden world of urban planning tech.
Just think about that for a second. If you get this wrong, it's not just an oopsie, it's a potential catastrophe. Planners are dealing with these high-stakes questions every single day. And the answer? Well, it lies in two incredibly powerful systems that act as the city's brain and its crystal ball. All right, first up, let's talk about the foundation of it all, the Land Information System, or LIS for short. The easiest way to think about it is like creating a perfect digital twin for every single piece of land in the entire city. So what is an LIS, really? Put simply, it's the ultimate database for land. Imagine a supercharged Google Maps that doesn't just show you streets and buildings. No, this map tells you exactly who owns what, where the precise legal boundaries are, and the entire history of that property. It's all about knowing what is right now. Now, an LIS is basically built on these two key pieces. First, you've got the cadastral overlay, which is just a fancy way of saying we're digitally drawing the exact property lines right on top of a map. Then there's title tracking. This is the live digital record of who legally owns that piece of land. You put them together and you get a single, undeniable source of truth. And listen, this isn't just some abstract theory. The PMUDA database in Delhi is a perfect real-world example. It's an LIS that was used to formally recognize and track the property rights for people living in over 1,700 areas that were previously unauthorized. This is huge. It shows how an LIS can provide real legal security and totally transform people's lives. Okay, so if the LIS tells us what is, how do we figure out what we should do? Well, for that, you need a totally different tool, and that brings us to the Decision Support System, or DSS. This thing is the city's crystal ball. It's where the magic of planning for the future really happens. A DSS is basically a city simulator. Seriously, think of it like playing a game of SimCity, but instead of just building a town for fun, real urban planners are using it to make massive decisions about our actual cities. It grabs all that raw data from the LIS and other places and turns it into a powerful tool for action. So what can this crystal ball actually do? Well, it can run what-if analyses to see what would happen if you made a new policy. It can use something called multi-criteria decision analysis, or MCDA, to pick the best spot for, say, a new hospital by digitally weighing things like population, traffic, and cost. And it can even model different futures to see which growth strategy is going to lead to the best results, like, less traffic for all of us. Here is a perfect, real-world what-if question a planner would feed into the DSS. By changing just one number, the floor area ratio, which basically means allowing taller buildings, they can instantly simulate the stress on public infrastructure, like the sewage system. This lets you spot a potential disaster before a single shovel ever hits the ground. Okay, so if you remember one thing, let it be this. LIS is the library of facts. It's the what is. It's the official record. The DSS, on the other hand, is the simulator. It's the what if. It's the tool for exploring all the possibilities. You absolutely need the accurate data from the LIS to power the smart questions you ask the DSS. They're two sides of the same very important coin. And as we look to the future, the real power, the real game changer, comes from integrating these two systems. When you merge them, you create these platforms that are way smarter than the sum of their parts. And this integration lets our cities finally become proactive. They can start to anticipate our needs instead of just reacting to problems. Just look at India's Gati Shakti portal. This thing is the ultimate integrated system. It merges over 200 different layers of data. I'm talking everything from forest boundaries and gas pipelines to roads and historical sites. It just smashes through those departmental silos, where the water department has no idea what the road department is planning. Suddenly, everyone's on the same digital page. And to make the LIS side of things totally ironclad, new tech like blockchain is coming into play. Here's the simple version of how it works. Every transaction becomes a block. That block gets changed to the last one. And this chain isn't stored in just one place. It's copied across tons of computers. So to fake a record, you'd have to hack all of them at the exact same time. The result is immutable records. They simply cannot be messed with. All right, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's see how much of it actually stuck. we're going to do a quick knowledge check with a few questions to see if you've got a handle on these city shaping tools. You ready? First question, a cadastral map primarily shows, what is it? Is it A, soil types, or B, individual property boundaries and ownership? I'll give you a second. And the correct answer is B. Cadastral maps are the absolute foundation of an LIS, showing exactly who owns what. Question number 2. Which part of the DSS lets a planner simulate the impact of a new policy? Is it database management? Or is it B, scenario modeling, also known as that what-if analysis? And it's B, the what-if analysis. Just think back to that sewer capacity example. That's a perfect use case. Okay, next up. When you have a portal that integrates what is with a system that models what if, like that Gaudy Shakti portal we talked about, what have you got? And the answer is B, an LIS integrated with a DSS. It's that perfect marriage of the library of facts and the future predicting simulator. All right, what about MSCDA? What is it most useful for in planning? Is it A, selecting a single site from many options by weighing different factors? Or is it something like C, drafting a legal notice? The answer here is A. MCDA is the go-to tool for making those really complex choices, like picking the absolute best spot for a project by weighing all the pros and cons. And for our final question, why are we bringing blockchain into land information systems? Is it to make maps more colorful, or is it B, to ensure the security and immutability of land records? I think you've got this one. It's B, of course. It's all about creating a tamper-proof system that everyone can trust, period. So there you have it. We've looked at the building blocks of our future digital cities. We have tools that can create a perfect record of everything that exists, and incredibly powerful simulators to explore what could be. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you know these tools are out there, if you had them at your fingertips, what's the very first problem in your city that you would solve?